All right, guys, welcome to the It's More Than Just Money movement channel. And as always, on this section of the channel, we have the Winner's Circle, where we bring you people that are winning in different areas of life, in different industries in South Africa and abroad. And today I've got a young 26-year-old CEO who is in the property industry and has got many decorated accolades and awards that he's won through his work. And we just thought, because he's winning and he needs to be part of our circle, we need to have a conversation with him so that you guys can draw inspiration, draw knowledge from him. And I hope you're going to be having your pen and paper. The guy is very knowledgeable. It's quite funny as well. But click on the subscribe button, click on the notifications bell, share this video, comment, and let us know what your thoughts are and which part of this interview resonates with you. And his name is Mr. Winston KUNENE. Mr. KUNENE, you know sometimes people call me Winston.
Hey.
But I'm very sure with you, they don't make the mistake of calling you Witness.
Sure.
So it simply means your name is more popular than mine.
Wow. Witness.
How's it, my brother? You're welcome.
I'm
Great to
good.
have you here.
Yo, thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Hey, KUNENE.
KUNENE.
Yeah. I was like, when is this guy gonna call me?
Yeah.
But thank you. Finally.
But you were bound. It was bound to happen.
I know,
Man.
thank you.
I've been seeing your content. I've been seeing your work. You're doing amazing work. And
appreciate it.
I also want to get into that space where we're having a conversation about what you do, where you started, what the future looks like, you know. And I'm more interested, honestly, in the story more than the glory. I can see the work that you're doing online, the work that you're doing in your company. But the important thing for me and the viewers is what exactly is the story and how can we draw some inspiration from it? So Australia, where are you from? What's your story? I know you were born in Swaziland.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got dual citizenship, which only a few people have in this world.
Hey, they're coming for me. Yeah. THEMBISA, Winston KUNENE. My name on my ID is Mhlonishwa. Mhlonishwa, yeah. My father named me Mhlonishwa. And then he actually figured, hey, I want to take this boy to a white school. I don't think they'll be able to pronounce that name. Then he put Winston next to Mhlonishwa. And then obviously KUNENE is the surname. So yeah, that's been my name for a while. And then I recently changed it to THEMBISA. I removed Mhlonishwa. I didn't remove it on the ID, but I suppose for branding, I named myself THEMBISA, Winston KUNENE, which was my mother's. So my mother wanted to name me THEMBISA, but she didn't really have the same.
I wanted to name you after a township in South Africa.
Okay. Everyone, you know what's even, it's funny, people assume I sell properties in THEMBISA, but it's actually THEMBISA.
That's how THEMBISA was originally spelled.
Really?
Yeah.
And then it changed to TE.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Originally, it's THEMBISA. That's why you don't hear us say THEMBISA. Remember, we're black people.
Oh, yes.
There's no way we could have made that pronunciation mistake.
Oh, just learned something new today.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to learn more, but yeah. So she named me THEMBISA, which but hope, promise, you know. Whereas on my father's side, it's more respect, honorable. But yeah, so I took up my after my names, just to share a little bit more of where I grew up and everything. So I was born in Swaziland. Yeah. My father decided, okay, let me not get into detail, but yeah. My mom, originally I'm from Swaziland. I was born in Swaziland, but I've lived in South Africa with my father all my life. And I regularly visit my mother in Swaziland. So just to share a little bit more about how I got into entrepreneurship, started at a very young age. So my dad has a farm in East Rand, Ukokuse Davidson, but he's got a farm in the East Rand, Brakpan. So he grows like crops, you know. He's got he does animal husbandry basically.
Animal husbandry.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
It's it's growing sheep. It's buying sheep, growing them, selling them. Taking care of the farm. Basically, it's not necessarily commercial farming. It's more towards subsistence, but it's a mixture of both.
Right.
Okay. So it's just farming.
But buying and selling.
Yeah, I'd say buying and selling. But it's basically it's the farm life. Let me not use big words. It's the farm life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the farm life. So he used to force me to go out there with my stepmother to sell vegetables, because we had a lot of vegetables, carrots and all of that. So that's where I actually got introduced into entrepreneurship. Let me call it sales. That's where I got introduced into sales. I was very young. I used to go there when I was in grade 4.
That must have been what? Age?
Yeah, probably. 11? Oh, no, not even 11. 11, 9, 10. Yeah, 9, 10. Yeah. And I used to literally go door to door. Hi, things is spinach. Are you interested? So yeah, that's how I grew, that's where I grew up. Then I went to a very good school where I met a lot of people, a lot of different backgrounds, different cultures, races, you name it, international, cultures as well. Where when I got into that school, telling the story, sharing the story about my entrepreneurial life, I started selling like cold drinks to students. Mm-hmm. Okay, used to sell a lot of cold drinks to the students. Made quite a lot of relationships as well, which I am using today. Funny enough, in primary.
Wow.
Well, high
Some
school.
Of the people
So grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. Yeah, started in grade 7 really. Mm-hmm. Selling, because I was selling at home. I was selling vegetables, but I wasn't really selling at school. I was going to school to learn, not to sell.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think I started discovering my purpose a little bit. Everyone would ask, what do you want to be when you're older, when you're done with school? Something I wanted to be a soccer player, actually. It was very good. I was like the first team captain. I was in grade 8, but I was the captain for the senior team. So that was I was the guy. I used to get accolades for sportsman of the year, soccer player of the year. I used to go to other schools and compete, and we would win games. So I was that guy. So I always thought I'd be a soccer player after school. But that didn't resonate well with my parents, my dad. So I had to find an alternative, but I didn't know what I wanted to do really. I was good at math. It's good at English, science. I was flopping there, but yeah, I suppose then a situation. I think when vision, how God plants a vision. It's very mysterious, but there's almost like a guideline. It's intuitional. So one day the school says to us, we will stop selling cold drinks because we want to promote a healthy lifestyle so that you guys can focus and actually do well in school, because you're all drinking too much fizzy drinks. This new principal comes into the school and he makes that rule. So I then saw the opportunity I go, okay, if there's no cold drinks, I can actually buy stock from Eclix. Maybe talk to the manager, get stock, borrowed money from some of my friends, my mother, my allowance. And I went and I bought stock and I would store it by the storage. So I made a deal with this one teacher, that one LO teacher that she's not really that serious. She's not like your maths teacher where here you can't even talk. So I said to her, can I use your storage? My geography teacher. So can I use your storage? I just want to store my cold drinks. I want to sell these cold drinks, but I promise I won't get you in trouble. So she didn't see that as a problem, So she's like, no, go ahead and do it. I started selling cold drinks to like the students. I would go to each student like during break time, after school, in the mornings, sell. Made my first 10K within like the first month because I inflated the prices. Yeah, I'd get one can for 5 rand and I'd sell it for 20 rand.
5 rand to 20 rand.
Yeah. So profit was 15 rand per can.
Sure.
And that was daily sales. So month end, I would hit like a 10K target. Started making money for 3 months. So I made 30K basically. If you break it down, I was in grade 9, grade 10. That's where I saw the vision. I knew I was born to be a leader because of my leadership skills within the soccer team.
Yeah, that plays a role, isn't it? It
plays a huge role, as well as the sales, the talent in finding opportunity within whatever environment, whether it's selling spinach or selling cold drinks to students, or selling houses, which is what I'm doing now, which is the actual purpose in business that I found. So yeah, I did that. Came grade 11. Okay, so eventually that stopped. I got in trouble, and how I got in trouble was there would be a lot of cans, like people throwing away the cans on the side, whatever, or the trash bins always had cans. So the teachers started asking questions, where are these cans coming from? We stopped selling these cold drinks. That's how much productivity, that's how productive I was, actually, I guess. And I was doing it by myself. I had, I don't want to call them employees, but I had like runners. Like, okay, I can't deliver 5 there. I need to deliver 10 there. So I'll give you the 5, you go deliver, I'll tip you, type of thing. Guys were chilled. But let me fast forward. So I then decided to drop out of school in grade 11.
Drop out. Who came up with that idea? Is it these motivational speakers?
Yeah, these YouTube videos
that are saying you don't need varsity degrees.
We fell for those traps.
You don't need school. You can make it as an entrepreneur.
Make it as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're right. I did some research. Like, what is this entrepreneurship thing? Started watching a lot of Bill Gates videos. Mark, all these rich people. Rich entrepreneurs, people who started businesses from scratch.
The people who are dropping out of Harvard.
Which
high school were you at?
I was in Woodlands International College, but it's not a Harvard standard.
Not Woodlands International, Harvard.
Yeah. I wonder where I got the bravery from, because it was like, I think about it now, it was a stupid decision to leave school at that time, to a very good school actually, where I could have completed properly. But anyways, we'll get to that. It's Bill
Gates who advised you, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's that advice. No, I yeah, no. So I dropped out of grade 11. Then things went down, sour, proper. That's where
your relationship with your dad.
Yeah, my relationship with my dad got kicked out. Went to Guatemala.
So where were you staying? You were staying in Davidton?
In Brakpan.
In the farm?
In Brakpan. Yeah.
Yes.
So I grew up in a farm.
I know the farm. Is it the ones behind Carnival City?
Yes, Bitok Estates.
Yeah.
Hey, witness. Yeah, so yeah, we stay there. We stay there. They still stay there. My parents are still there. Yeah, kicked me out. Then I went Guatemala, which is going further down. Yeah. And to Guatemala, I found a cousin of mine who was apparently a cousin. I said, hey man, give me a place to stay. I'll help with rent, and made empty promises. Because now I don't have clients. It's not like I'm selling at school, really. I don't have an actual business. But my exit strategy for wanting to drop out of school was, I used to collect games from my friends. They used to buy like latest PlayStation 4 games. PS games, FIFA, and it. And then I used to go to like cash converters. And this is a business idea, by the way, for anyone that's watching this, that you can start this. You can do it today.
Articulate it further. Let's hear. So what was the business idea?
So if you're if you're in school, I suppose, or if you even in a bigger neighborhood where your friends are playing a lot of PlayStation games. So go to your friends that have consoles like PS5, PS4, go and buy an old game. Like literally, because what happens, let's talk about FIFA. We all play FIFA. If you buy FIFA 08, okay, if you buy FIFA 21, right? Next year you're gonna buy FIFA 22. So the value of FIFA 21 is really not as much as it was last year, right? So the value drops in terms of the price of the game. Mm-hmm. So you go to your friend and you buy that for literally let's use small figures. You'll buy it for 100 Rand.
Yeah.
Even though the value of the game is about 400 Rand. Yeah. But because now we're in 2023, the value of FIFA 23 is like 1,000 Rand. So if that's the idea, is you're buying devalued games, but you go to pawn shops and you sell it there. So if you buy a game for 100 Rand in the FIFA 21 and you go to a pawn shop, Cash Crusader, Cash Converters, which is what I used to do when I used to stay with the guy in Equatemba. I would then sell the game for like 300, 400. I would try and negotiate with the guy as well, push it up to 500. Sometimes, I'll tip you, just push it up. So yeah, that's basically.
So you're doing corruption?
I don't call it corruption. Don't call it corruption.
I'll tip you simply means I'll give you a kickback.
Don't call it corruption.
Yeah.
It's been creative. Yeah. So yeah, the guy, the cash converters used to buy a lot of the games from me. So I would make like 300 profit per game. But there's a lot of games. So I used to buy a lot of games. I still had contact with the guys. I could go to their house.
You're 17 years old.
Yeah, I'm 17. Oh, I had failed school twice. Grade 3 and grade 8.
Yeah, 19.
So I'm actually 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So so I'd go resell.
You're
so
failing because you're busy selling.
Yeah, that's
other
the
kids
thing.
are studying.
That's the thing. And it's not that I'm academically. Hey, now it sounds like I'm gonna blow my own horns. I'm actually a very smart guy academically. Like I can read a whole book and I can go to an exam room. I will nail it. I did my NQF 4 NQF real estate.
Yeah.
Got like 90% for that. So academically, I've got the ability. But I suppose, like you're saying, I was selling books. I was selling games and cold drinks. I wasn't really focusing on exams and all of that. So I suppose, that was the problem at that point.
The focus was on the money.
Yeah, yeah. It's more than just money. Yeah. So okay, going back to the story. I hope I'm not taking too long.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we still have time. Hey. So yeah, I used to make about maybe 2,000 Rand profit. It was quite a lot of work. I had to take like taxis to like different malls because I used to supply to different. I'd buy, if I have 5 of the same games, it means I would have to go to 5 different malls. So yeah, it was very time consuming, but I would make 2,000 Rand profit at the end of the month. Then at least I could provide a bit of food and whatever for myself with the guy I'm staying with and the rent and whatnot. But that happened for about 5 months. Then I got a call from my friend saying, "Hey, we hear you dropped out, but you're still alive, right? You're okay." He's one of my best friends. It's like, "Listen, my parents were wondering if you're keen to come join us for lunch." I was like, "Oh, okay. Why not?" I used to post a lot, by the way, the games. I used to post a lot of the games on social media. Social media is such a big platform for selling stuff. And I kind of grew a profile there. So there was that impression that I was actually surviving, even though they heard I was kicked out. I'm staying with no family, whatever, and no support. So invited for lunch, and then we spoke, and then they offered me a job. During the lunch, "Yeah, no, we can offer you a job to come and be a receptionist for our recruitment company. And then you can stay."
Because you could speak well.
Yeah, I could speak well as well.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
And I think the bonus for them was I can sell and I can speak. So this guy is actually the guy we need for our company right now.
So they didn't ask you if you have a degree or not?
Oh, no. They knew I dropped out. Because that was the thing. I was meant to be a head boy at some point. Because we had this whole prefectship thing in grade 11. So, but yeah, let me not even get to that. But basically, I was popular. The trophies I used to win, parents knew me, So
plus the soccer.
So I was that boy. In the school. The golden boy.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. But yeah, so then I was like, sure. Yeah, you can stay by our cottage. It's a huge house.
They gave you a cottage?
They gave me a cottage.
Where's the Springs?
No, this is now in Boksburg.
Boksburg, yeah.
This is now in Boksburg. The school was in Woodlands, is in Boksburg. Yeah, by, if you know East Rand Mall, but yeah, this is by Chud Hotel. So I was like, yo, I'm taking this. Salary 5,000 Rand per month.
What year is this now?
This is 18 years old. Well, 19. Same year, 19.
Yeah, 2020?
Was it
2016, 2017?
Yeah, no, it's 20. No, it couldn't have been 2016. Remember, I was 19, failed twice.
Yeah.
2021, just before 2020. No, 2020. Can't be. 2019 to 2020. Somewhere there.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah.
So that would be, you were 19, 6 years ago. That was 2017.
Yo, okay, yeah, this is long, it was a while back. Feels like it was recent.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, yo. So, yeah, got a job. Then, first 3 months, I bought a car. Because now I have a credit. I guess I had a credit, but also where I bought the car, it was like some guy selling the car. It's not really. I went to a car dealership and I had a good credit score. So I used that salary to buy a car, but I was still pushing the games on the side. So I had a passive, I had an extra income while I was still at the job, doing my reception work, building relationships. Then I got into how I got into that same year, by the way.
Sure.
I got into property. Because I'm a receptionist, I'm getting all the CVs coming in. I would see all the available opportunities. And I saw a Pam Golding opportunity with the lady that wanted to, she was looking for a PA, basically 1.5 per month plus commission. And I did
because it's a recruitment firm.
Yes.
And everybody that messages the office,
they start
with you because they are looking for people to work for them.
Exactly.
So then you get to see what the job placements are.
Exactly.
Okay, 100%.
Yeah.
So every CV that came in into the firm, you would see it because it's a recruitment firm.
Yeah.
And when people are looking for candidates, they message the office or they email the office.
Exactly.
And everything goes through to you first. So you get to see what every opportunity is.
Every opportunity.
And this particular opportunity was Pam Golding now.
Yeah. This specific one was
Pam Golding branch was this?
It was the Pinoni one. Yeah. Some guys might know him in the industry, Nielsen. It was quite a number of branches, Pam Golding branches. So yeah, that was that branch. So I called this lady. I'm dropping too many numbers here. I'm giving my salaries away. So 1.5 was the salary.
1,500.
Yeah, to be a PA.
Okay. You're earning
plus commission. I was earning 5,000. Yeah. And I was making an additional 7,000 to 10,000 from the games. Remember, now I had a car, so I was very effective with the games. So because I know earlier I said I was making 2,000. So I managed to grow more shops, more cash converters and cash crusader pawn shops, because now I had a car. I was very effective. So I was already making about 15,000 Rand per month, including the salary. Then I get an opportunity I see the opportunity comes in. The lady says, I'll pay you 1.5 and plus commission. And then I started thinking, and I did a bit of research before I took that opportunity. I was like, I knew property stuff, like Grant Cardone. I knew these guys. Since high school, I've been watching videos about property and stuff, but I'm like, why don't I get into this industry actually and build a business from there? And it was a thought. It wasn't something I wanted to do. I always knew I would have built a business at some point, but I never thought it would be in property. Right. So I was like, no, man, let me sacrifice this resignation. I father. And I'm like, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm going to take this up. Okay, wait. I'm fast forwarding. So I actually called the lady, the agent. She explained a little bit of how they make money. And I met her first interview. She took me on the spot. Let's work. Okay, cool. Now I had to hand in my resignation there. Where I got the opportunity, did that. Remember, I don't know where I get the bravery from, because remember at that time, I was living in that property. where they offered me the opportunity.
Yes. And you're not paying rent.
And I was not paying rent.
So they basically gave you a lot of money, bro.
Yeah.
They gave you a property to stay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rental could have been. Maybe $5,000 too.
Yeah.
And then they gave you $5,000.
Yeah.
10,000. You don't even have metric, but anyway, continue.
This one's gonna hit. It's gonna hit home. You know what?
I mean, at that time.
So, hey, yeah, no. So I said to them, guys, I'm done. Thank you for the opportunity.
What made you go for the 1.5 while you had the 10,000? Basically,
it was the commission structure. And her ad actually said, I will help you become an entrepreneur in property.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is like mentorship to become an entrepreneur, to do things. Because you look at Pam Golding, they make 2 billion rand a year. They big. And you look at the agents, it's every Tom, Dick and Harry, whether you have a degree, you don't have a degree, they all make money. So I'm like, no, man, I can build a business in this thing. At some point, I'll build my own property company, which is where we are now, you know. But you have to go through the ropes. Anyone that wants to start property, you have to go through mentorship. So I was like, no, I'm willing to learn. So then I told the guys I'm leaving. Hey, it was a tough one because they said, okay, no, it's fine. But you have to leave the house, the cottage. It was a bit of a sour conversation. Leave the cottage, leave this, basically leave everything behind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had big plans for me. They wanted me to be a PE partner at some point in the company.
A white family?
Yeah, it's a German family.
German, okay.
Yeah.
So there was opportunity there as well.
There was opportunity for me to move. Hey, but that's why I'm saying the relationships I had there, I'm using them now and they're working.
Yeah.
You know?
So maybe let's divert a bit. Do you think then parents should take their kids to these expensive schools for the mere virtue of the fact that they'll build relationships that are going to sustain their lives?
Yeah. 1,000%. I know there's an argument about government schools, private IEP schools and whatnot, but 1,000%. When you're looking at the stats of this, the economy, 80% of JSE listed companies are white people. So if you simplify the thought behind that, it means that every profitable companies, I mean, there's 2.6 million SMEs. Only 37% of those are profitable. They create about 250,000 jobs every year. You look at even graduates coming out of universities, it's about 700,000 graduates annually. I mean, if you look at how many people are actually sitting at home, if you say 700,000 annual unemployed graduates minus 250,000 created job opportunities every year, you're sitting at a guaranteed 450,000 students sitting at home unemployed. So when you break those, I'm a numbers guy, so I like getting into numbers. So when you break those numbers down and then you look at the profitable companies, which is the JSE, even those that are not listed on the JSE, it's mostly white-owned companies that are actually employing people. So why I'm bringing this up is as much as, yes, you can be self-made, you can work hard, you can get support from your community, but all the opportunities lie in the 80% of this country, and you need to collaborate with them at some point. It can be a racial thing, yes. It can be you're a sellout or whatever. You know, people get so political about these things, but at some point, like selling properties, for example, for me to sell properties. Or for homeowners to trust me. If you look at the number of homeowners in the country, majority of them are white people. The majority of the people that own land in this country, they're white. So for me to sell their houses, I need access to that market. So it goes in whatever industry that you go into. So if you have a child or your children, you're considering where you should be taking your kids to school, put them in those white schools. Let them build the relationships from there. You don't have to do much. Just positioning. Let them build relations, especially now. Now there's no apartheid now. In a new modern way of doing things, where you see interracial couples. Yeah, sure. You see friends. They were best friends from high school, up until you see when you go to weddings, you see it's a traditional wedding, but you'll see a white guy there. Those things are happening now. It's becoming the norm, right? But what I'm saying is, you'll find that most of the white people have the opportunity. They carry the opportunities. So position your children to collaborate with those environments. They don't have to lose their Africanism. They don't have to use their roots, but I guess maybe more for entrepreneurs. I would put this more for entrepreneurs than just, because at the end of the day, it's not like all those white people will hire those stats I was talking about, the 450,000 unemployed graduates.
But if you're friends and I'm white and your daughter needs a job, I'm going to hire your daughter if your daughter is skilled.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's how the system works. So that's a good question. But there are a lot of kids as well that come from non-white or what's the word I want to use? Caucasian. Caucasian schools, because white can be different, Afrikaans, whatever, European. But there are a lot of people who've made it out of government schools. There are people who've made it with not going to school at all, from every type of industry that you look into. So that's not necessarily the blueprint. But if you're looking at the larger numbers, it's important to network with these people at some point.
So going back to what you were talking about, in the sense that because of those, the access that your father created for you by just taking you to a good school, then you were able to then meet this family that gave you a job, and you worked for them, found the Pim Golding opportunity, had the difficult conversation because this family had big plans for you.
Literally.
Now it's basically like you breaking up with your family, basically, because they were your family.
That's true.
And you find yourself in a space where the family is breaking up, and you're the one who must pack your bags
and go.
How did that make you feel? And anyway, let me not ask you how it made you feel
at that point,
because I don't want you to cry on set. But maybe perhaps get into that. How did that make you feel? And what gave you the courage to continue with the decision to take a lower paying job because you saw something bigger there?
I remember earlier I spoke about how vision is mysterious, but it's very intuitional as well. So me taking that decision was very intuitional. I'll definitely I'll give credit to that, because it's a risk. It's a huge risk, which is most likely to go the opposite direction, right? But I suppose that feeling I had from school of what's so special about me? Why do I fail? I think failure also plays a role. I failed grade 3. I failed grade 8. What's different about me? Also, I'm a failure in terms of the academic world, yes, but these people are drawn to me. I'm able to lead people that are older than me, that have more knowledge, more experience, and look more intimidating, But how am I this skinny little kid, and I'm still I'm able to empower people, influence people, draw people to. So those things, those type of questions kind of draw you towards your purpose at the end of the day. Yeah, it's about the quality of questions that you ask. As painful as it can be, like, why did I have to get kicked out of my family? Why was I abandoned?
Your actual family now, not your second family.
My actual family,
So now this was happening. Now I see. This was now happening for the second time.
The second
it's more
time.
Like, okay, I've seen this movie play before.
Exactly. Now it's the second time in a totally different family, and it's not that I'm a runner or a chaser. I think I'm an adapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I adapt to whatever. I mean, it's God, really. God. We can go in on a huge debate about this, but I was saying, Uguti, when you look at the Bible, there's about 7 billion people now in this whole world, right? So would that mean the Bible would have 7 billion scriptures or 7 billion chapters? But I know it's a little bit of it's very subjective, but those people that wrote the Bible were given visions. They were chosen to write, and they had to take that accountability. So at some point, certain things will happen to you. You get crucified. You do what's not normal.
Mm.
You especially if you're the chosen one, at some point you have to go through a lot of life experiences that will just, as much as they bring you down, but you don't know where you get your resilience from, because you just keep going. And I think that's vision. You're really adapting to your vision that was given to you. So yeah, I think that's my understanding of it. Even leaving, that family, yes. How it made me feel? Jeez, man. I think, trauma also plays a role in a lot of things, which is what I'm currently dealing with now, I'm able to commit to something, but I'm also able to run away from it, especially in my actual relationships. We're not talking about relationships and dating, but I can commit to a woman, but if it's not working and not someone else, but something else is calling me. Okay, let's not get into that. We're talking about business and my story.
No, it's fine. It's part of your story.
Yeah.
The nice thing about winning is that you can pick up winning mindsets from different parts of life. Could be in relationships, and that can be taken, applied in your personal life. It can be taken, applied in your business or your career. It goes across the board. The mindset really is the same. Right? And I love the fact that you'd make that example and still be able to say it's like in relationships, because that has to do with holding on.
Yeah.
You being cut off from your family has to do with holding on.
Deep.
Has to do with letting go.
Yeah.
Has to do with being able to let go quickly.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you are doing those things. Right? And then you start off at Pem Goldie.
Yeah.
What happens then? You leave, you say bye to the family.
Yeah.
They say bye to you.
Yeah.
Sure. And you're still willing to leave.
I'm still
when
willing.
They kick you out.
I'm still willing.
You're like, I'm not changing my mind.
I'm going for it.
The conviction, where did that come from?
I suppose trauma.
Okay. So trauma can give you conviction.
A lot. Hey, as the trauma, you can't even define trauma, you know that, because the trauma, it triggers a lot of emotions that affect our decision making. How I felt about the whole situation, yes, I felt bad. They forgave me, really, but it was sour after that. And me now having to find out.
Did they feel betrayed by you?
Yeah.
Especially since you got the opportunity while you were working there.
And also a bit of that privilege, the lack of appreciation. It's very disrespectful.
Do you feel like you were disrespecting them in any sense?
I think at the end of the day, I think, respect is I always say it's a value for value thing, but respect, it is both ways, I suppose, but it's like the argument would be, I want to grow
and be better.
Will you be supportive of that? But similarly, you're offered an opportunity by us. Do you show any sense of appreciation?
Okay.
So it can be a two-way thing.
It's like you were spitting on their faces.
Yeah.
Literally. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Even though that was not
was not the intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, then it goes back to, do I then, goes about like what you were saying now, do I just, as much as there's a vision, there's drive, there's ambition, I want to take a risk, do I put all of those things aside and say, no, I'm going to stay here because they were nice to me? Suppose, yeah. Anyways, we can go deeper and deeper into that. But basically, for me, it was a risk because going to the whole Pam Golding thing now is, okay, now I don't have a house. I mean, I had a bit of savings. I guess there was a bit of confidence there. I guess, okay, no, let me find those cottages that are cheap. Stay there, which I did. I found in a very nice, same street actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a cottage there.
And you'd greet them passing.
Literally, yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, I was like, no, can I stay in your cottage? I'll pay rent. How much? Okay, 3.5 sharp. I was like, okay, I need to make sure I sell a house. Pressure. If I don't sell a house and I'm committing to this,
could be kicked out.
Again. So I'm like, okay, cool, no. Let me take the leap of faith. Let me go in. I mean, I already had that 1.5 coming in guaranteed, and I had a few savings. So maybe I did calculate at some points, actually. I mean, I did survive. I did calculate to go to, okay, for the next 6 months, I might be okay. And it was a miscalculation because I didn't sell a house the first month. And I didn't sell a house even the second month. In fact, my commission was so low, even when I sold the first house for the lady, not for me. All the commission went to her. I got a small commission and I looked at the amount. I was like, yo, but this is basically the same amount I was getting from there and there.
When you got the commission?
When I got the commission.
So you start to regret.
Like, no, guys, this is not it, eh? But obviously, no, you're resilient. So you go, you say, oh, Nelson. So I go to Nelson, I say, hey, Baba, I want to do this thing on my own. I want to sell my own houses. I know the fundamentals of putting a for sale sign, the fundamentals of doing show houses. You just need to be representable. But the house sells itself. I don't think I'll struggle with that. I think building a database will not necessarily be a problem. So that was my pitch to him, which I'm sure he gets pitched every time. So he's like, okay, no, let's try, boy. But the one thing he said to me, the trauma thing, he says to me, no, you can do it, but listen, you're with a very good agent. You can learn more being under her wing. Mm-hmm. But if you start your own thing now, we'll give you the support, the material, and the resources like we've been giving her. You sign a new contract, got a 50-50 split commission. But I'm telling you now, you're not going to sell your first house this year. That was Nielsen's words that I will always remember.
Yeah. Did you sell a house?
I sold 6 houses that year.
Nice.
Yeah, I sold 6 houses that year.
And he said you won't sell even one.
Yeah, I said he won't sell one. In fact, I'm lying. I want to combine the other 6. I sold 12 houses essentially. Yeah, because I sold 6 for the lady. I mean, I was still doing the job really. And then I sold, going on my own, I continued selling. So I sold 12 houses that first year.
Yo.
So, and I made a lot of money because now my commission is direct. That for me, that changed. Hey, money does play a role sometimes. Yeah, because you're like, what? First year, 350,000. Let's go next year. Then now you start being exposed to more opportunities. You start being exposed to, I mean, also, I suppose when your goals also grow, when you actually see the result, because they say you can't really improve what you haven't measured.
Sure.
So the measurements are so important, but also the result. You get the result, you get to realize that I can actually improve it. So yeah, it was very, very interesting at that point, and that's when I then thought to myself, no, let me get educated within this sector.
So you went for your NQFs.
Then I started doing my NQFs. My matric is in real estate, guys. My NQF 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do your NQ4 without a grade 11. Actually, I'm giving secrets out. You can actually go straight and study real estate from grade 11, and then you'll still be able to get qualified. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that qualification is very important because it exposes you to how that 80% JSE listed owned companies I was talking about earlier. It exposes you to how they make money. It exposes you to things like how the system works, interest rates. It exposes you to property investments, wealth creation. So there's a lot of stuff that it exposes you to. Then I obviously went on and I'm doing my NCAR 5 and all of that. And now I'm like, okay. So those things are important is basically what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so fast forward to where we are now. I think the story has been interesting, but yeah, fast forward to where we are now. I did at some point from Pam Golding, and then I moved to Keller Williams. With Keller Williams, they supported my vision because I shared a few ideas for empowering the youth in the property sector. And I needed certain resources to do that. So with my business partners that I found along the journey, met some guys in the industry, got support from Keller Williams. We got our NQF 5 and everything. Then we became fully independent, which is Libertalia Group, the name of my company. Why we call it Libertalia Group is because we run different divisions. So there's real estate, there's finance and education, but within the sector. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's been my journey. All of this.
So the principal supported you guys,
yes,
to set up the company. And he was principal
there.
Yeah.
While I was still getting my qualifications, he was signing off all our deals. He was actually an employee because we would pay him just for him being a principal, but we would still run the business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, to where we are now. So now the agency is fully independent. It's an agency. It's accredited, PPR accredited. And we just pushing, we're empowering more people. We're doing education on sales. I want to grow. Yeah, I want to grow. But that's basically where we are now.
Wow. And then what are the things that you think you've learned in terms of mindset along the way that you think you could share with some young guy watching or a young lady watching saying, wow, that's inspirational. What do you think is the one thing a couple of things. It can't be one thing.
Is
there something? What are the things that you think could be taken into consideration?
I'd like to talk about like application.
Application.
The importance of application. And how progress can create the beautiful life that you want for yourself. But because we're dealing with the mindset thing here, progress is a thing of every day I have to show up. Let me, I'll break down the mindset thing. Let me talk about what's actually happening now with the youth, which is a problem. Remember, we spoke about those 450 students, 1,000 students that are unemployed.
Sure.
If you take a percentage of that as well and you say to them, listen, guys, you've got a degree. Let's think about accounting. Let's say accountants. You've got a degree. The mindset right now that we have as the youth, or as someone that has an accounting degree or any other degree is, I'm going to apply for a job until I actually get it. And you wait for years, if not, it's very situational. So my advice is change your mindset towards, I must ask and I will receive. Change it towards, I will give first, then I will receive.
So what are you giving in that?
What are you giving? So going back to the example of accountants, like if you have your degree now, go to any company, small company. Don't even have to go to those what are they called? They in Sentin, that big firm, Bowman's, I think. Yeah.
Accounting,
Yeah.
Yep. The big ones.
Deloitte. Yeah.
KPMG.
Exactly. Stop knocking on those doors. Go to a small business that's fairly doing well and go to the CEO, the person that's running it. Offer free labor for a year. I know this sounds super crazy.
Yeah.
Offer free labor for a year. Because we're talking about mindset now. Because it's a value for value conversation. That person might not be able to afford you because you're a resource, you're a depleting resource, really. So they can't afford you. But if you go there with the mindset of, I want to learn everything. I want to learn how pastel works. I want to learn how, okay, obviously you've studied, you kind of know how to do accounting, but I want to learn how you close a client.
Using it practically as well.
Practically.
Yeah.
How do I build a clientele? What relationships do I? So those things are so important. So the value for value conversation there is most people, like if anyone came to my company and said, hey, I want to work for you for free. I'll do anything. Oh, I'm saving money. I'm going to hire you.
Yeah.
So that's the approach is go to those companies and say to the guys, hire me, I'll do free work. I'll do this. I'm just here to learn. So the important, why I'm using accounting as an example, because I know someone that actually did this and it worked for them. You'll build a huge database within a year. The type of database that you will build, these are certain relationships that will pay you for your services. You can.
So you're saying they shouldn't ask for money?
Don't ask for money.
So it's more than just money.
I tried to witness. I tried to witness. Literally. You mastered. You mastered it. It's more than just money. Please buy that book. It's more than just money. No, like seriously, it's more than just money. Like go offer free labor. The kind of value you'll get within a year. I suppose it goes back to that thing maybe where I took 1.5.
Sure.
Even though I was making 15,000 Rand previously. I learned so much. The things I'm applying now in the industry is so amazing. Things that I know because of learning and getting mentorship and not getting a lot of money for it.
So that mentorship was worth a lot of money.
It was worth a lot of money. I've acquired so many properties, not because of it. It's because I know how to, and I was taught. Someone showed me practically for 1.5. So
and they were paying you to teach
me how to make money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be anything. Degrees, any degree that you go to the industry and offer free labor. It's a value for value conversation. The guy will be happy that you're a resource he doesn't have to pay for, but at the same time, you know what? It's the secret. It's the secret because that guy will show you all his secrets of how he made it.
Sure.
He can't show you the secrets over a conversation.
You have to be there practically.
You have to be there
observing, to be seeing.
Oh, this is how he closes clients. Oh, this is how he built that system. Oh, this is how you're taking all the secrets. You just need 365 days and commit to it. Next year, go to CIPC, open your own company, go to your database. Just build your clientele. Hey, can I do your books? I'll try. It's fine. I'll do your annual returns. I'll do your your what do they do in accounting? Management accounts.
Yeah.
I'll do your auditing, and don't charge the prices that Deloitte charges. Start small. 3,000 Rand. But the idea is it's progress. Remember we spoke about progress. So that's the mindset. Is it's progressive. You start there small. You started working for free. You got the knowledge. Now you're putting a price to it. But you've got a small clientele, so you can't charge exorbitant amounts. So now you're saying, let me build a reputation through these little clients that I'm getting. Now you have the reputation in the industry. Now you can go and charge what Deloitte is charging because you're the go-to guy.
So if there's a young guy sitting at home, listening to you right now through that camera there that's on your side, and they're saying, I hear you, Winston. Now a witness. WW. You guys are speaking from a position of influence. You don't know what I'm going through. What sort of encouragement and mind-blowing opportunities would you say you'd give them? Starting with the encouragement and getting into the opportunities that they can start with tomorrow morning.
I think the encouragement one is very, it really boils down to an individual. But yes, I am definitely going to say this. There's a saying that goes, if something comes easy, it's not worth it, right? Something like that. So I want the encouragement here is it's war. You have to go to war. That's the mindset you need to build. And when I say you have to go to war, I mean, you have to be positive consistently. You're fighting a war of negativity and positivity. It's a mindset thing, right? So if every day you're waking up and you're saying, oh no, I'm useless. Oh no, I don't know what to do with my life. Oh no, I prefer doing, and by the way, I'm not against, social events, but read. If you want to pick up a lot of encouragement, you should read. That's the one space where, for me personally, when I read a book, I zone out, and it's so subconscious. I zone out, and I'm reading what the person has done before successfully, and it feels like I'm having a conversation with them, and it also feels like they are showing me the way of going about life, and that's how you build confidence as well into being a positive person frequently. It's very difficult to say to someone, no, you must wake up and be positive. There's a few steps and actions that you need to take to build confidence, because confidence is what will make you wake up and say, no, I will. If you want to be a billionaire, I will be a billionaire. You don't know how to. You don't know how to get there. But I'm telling you, your algorithm will take you towards that direction because you've built confidence over time by being confident. And you can pick that up from other success stories. So constantly watch educational podcasts. Watch big business people. Just watch positive stuff. Constantly surround yourself with positive people. Your environment is so important. If you hang around with 5 guys who complain about life, you'll probably be the 6th guy. So stop complaining about life. Find people that are doing it, because those people are showing us that it's possible, So the possibilities are endless. That's definitely how I my first point is how I'm encouraging someone out there to, as a young person especially, because when you're young, you're an infant, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
You still have a lot to learn. But during your learning process, the more you learn is the more you earn. So you have to prioritize learning as much as possible from the right people, from being surrounded with the right people in the right environments. And then secondly, for opportunities, we recently, especially in the industry, in real estate, we've recently started an organization called South African Youth in Property Association. This is specifically a transformation agenda. When you look at the number of registered estate agents in this country, we have about 50,000, right? And only 13% of those are Black people. And only 4.5% of those are young people, which is the youth. So the vision with SAIPA is we understand that access to market and education is a problem, because real estate education is actually quite expensive. It's very expensive. So we're saying, as SAIPA, we've affiliated now, and we've been running for quite some time now. We've affiliated with agencies all over the country. We've got attorneys and agencies that are running well, that are offering free mentorship and free. So how we're doing this, like I'm saying, it's a transformative agenda. So go and register on SAIPA's portal. Just search www.saipa.co.za, or you can just go to my Instagram profile, THEMBISA Winston KUNENE. You'll see SAIPA on my bio. just read a little bit of more information about it. But if you want to get into this industry, this is your way. We have free education there. We have free trainings for NQF4, free trainings for NQF5. In fact, we would love to see the younger guys come into the industry because this is a huge industry. This is where most of the money is made. I mean, selling one house literally creates about 9 to 12 jobs just from one registration. And there's 7 million houses sold every year. People are getting paid in this industry. And there's a lot of things you can learn. It doesn't have to be selling properties. It can be investments. It can be construction. It can be auctioneering. There's a lot of things that you can do within the sector. It can be even, if you want to start a removal company business, you can start it within property. You start moving people's furniture and you build. There's so many entrepreneurial opportunities you can get. But for us, what we want is to empower you. So being a member of this organization, it also helps us to then take the data and go to large corporates. It helps us go to governments and say, this is the data, this is the impact that we're doing.
Yeah.
Give us more resources. So it's free for you guys. Yes, it's an investment in you guys for now, but it's a value for value thing. So yeah, for whoever's interested in getting into property, I would definitely suggest that they would go and register, become a member, and then you have access to those courses. And it's online as well. You can, from anywhere, you can access a property investment course, a property practitioner course. Stop watching MacG and stop using your data to watch MacG and go learn those courses.
Those are the views of the guest. I'm not touching any beef.
No beef. So I think those are the opportunities we have for the youth in the industry.
Sure.
Yeah, those are the opportunities.
Sure. Any parting words concerning the books that you'd suggest? I know you suggested for them to get into the program.
Yes.
Get acquainted with information concerning property. Watch the right kind of YouTube channels where they're getting knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, and then what else in terms of the books they should read?
I'll definitely start with this one.
It's more than just
money. More than just money. A book will show you that when it's that whole thing, you give yourself because you definitely get what you give. So read books like that. Read How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was, it's crazy. When they introduced that book at my school, that was my first book ever, and I used to hate reading. But I don't know. I just read it. I opened the chapter, the first page. I was like, no, this book, man, it's talking to me. So why I'm saying read that book is one of the reasons why I was able to also progress in life and get opportunities from German families, from whoever, from Pam Golding. It's because I read that book as well. It shows you the secrets of relationships and how it works, opportunities and how they work.
I've probably read that book twice or 3 times.
What was that guy thinking when he was writing that book?
Very powerful book, man. Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
Very powerful book.
Yes.
I think that's one of the best books anyone that wants to do business, be in a career, lead, should read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
After they read It's More Than Just Money.
After that one,
they must read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Very good book.
Yeah.
Very good book.
Yeah, no. So maybe top 5.
Sure.
48 Laws of Power, but not because you want power. It's an art. Oh, see, now I'm naming 2 books at once.
Yeah.
I was going to say Art of War and 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
But these will teach you how to control and influence. Sun Tzu.
Yeah. Hey, dropping very powerful books, eh?
They
yeah,
after God, they changed my life.
But it's no wonder he's CEO at 26. Yeah.
Sure.
The reason. The work has been put in.
Sure.
Whatever you give yourself to, it'll give itself back to you. Give yourself to education, books, self-development, all of those things will give themselves back to you. We're sitting here because we've given ourselves to certain things that allow us to be in this space. I didn't go to no white woodland school. But I'm here, I've paid the price, I've learned, I've read, I've developed myself. We can sit and have a conversation. Why? Because I didn't sit and say, no, I come from the township. I can't develop myself. Where is it going to get me?
Powerful.
I was more like, okay, but if I come from the township, it means I must work 10 times harder. Just to get the same thing someone can just wake up and get today.
That's so true.
So if you're behind, you need to understand why you need to work even harder than people that are further ahead. They don't need to put in as much work as you. But it doesn't mean you must give up. It simply means you must recognize the fact that you are behind and start working 3-4 times. Must be an extra mile. Just thought I should throw it in there.
I love the alignment. It just blows my mind. What you just said just blew my mind. It's almost like, it's so nice when you even hear it from someone else. But it's so powerful what you've just said. And I suppose. Please take that. You see, I wanted to end the thing with a witness. What's the word of the day? I think you've just given us the word of the day.
It must be an extra mile. That's it.
True.
Be an extra mile. Be willing to go the extra mile. You know, when you read the Bible, Mchan, Jesus says, when someone asks you to walk a mile, walk 2 miles. So that can be applied in everything. In business, in your relationship with your kids, in your relationship with your co-workers. Anyone who goes the extra mile will always be paid twice, man. There's no way somebody can do greater than other people and not be paid for it. You do one thing, you do it well, somebody wants to pay you for it. Now do something else, that's your extra mile now. That we didn't ask you to do. So we ask you to file papers. And now you're not only filing papers, you're finding research work, you're finding more opportunities. Why shouldn't you get paid more? Why?
You just gave them game.
I gave them game. Thank you so much for coming.
Wow. This was a pleasure.
Favorite
Appreciated.
quote as you part?
Favorite quote. Can I say one I created myself?
That's it. That's yours. We take it. I'll be quoting you next time.
So this is a 200-year plan. We're building a Great Wall of Africa. I know it's a very unique quote. There's no motivation really or inspiration on it, but it's a reminder that as Africans we've come very far. We've come very far. So it's a 200-year plan. If you measure where we were 20 years ago, yes, there's still a lot of problems, but there are a lot of great things we've done as Africans. It's a 200-year plan. Thank you.
So hear it from me for the first time. It's a 200-year plan. The work that is being put in is a lot more than it was 20 years ago. And I'm quoting TWK. THEMBISA Winston KUNENE. Mr. KUNENE, thank you so much for coming through, brother.
Appreciate it.
May God keep on blessing and elevating you.
Thank you.
In the spaces where you're operating. And from me and my team, broadcasting from Johannesburg, South Africa, it's more than just money. See you again next week. Remember to subscribe. Click on the like button. Comment. Let us know what your thoughts are and which part of the conversation resonates with you. Share this video so that more people can have access to it. Ciao, ciao.
Danko.
Danko.
Hey.
How are you, Mr. CEO?